a spiral in the sky around a bright light.
They secretly exhumed bones of 8 young men who were never identified.
Just forgotten people that were murdered by one of the most evil persons ever to walk the earth.
How about this, Alan? Make the scariest noise you can possibly think of.
Oh, don't put me on a spot like that.
Baba booey.
Hey, relax.
All right, welcome to the Spooky Bucket, everyone. That's how we're starting this episode.
Beautiful.
Currently speaking is your current and the initial BBC champion. This is Omar, everyone. I will explain.
Oh.
Hey,
You suck.
I am the champion of the people, and the only reason I'm here is because the power of friendship.
Oh yeah, take off your pants.
What? No. I think you got the wrong idea. So the BBC champion, for those who haven't been on the Spit Bucket Instagram recently, is that I just won a whole ass tournament, a Beyblade championship, if you will. So I am in fact the current BBC champion.
Boo.
I beat everyone. I will say no one even stood a chance.
Dude,
Okay, hold
I
on.
had you shaking.
Hold on.
Not even once.
You literally lost the first round, and you only won because you went up the losers bracket.
Okay, well, you see, the hero never wins the first round. Tell me.
I said that.
I know, and it's true. So I am the hero that the people have been waiting for. Is that not correct, Mario?
No.
You haven't read enough manga, like me.
Yeah,
So-
I bet you haven't even read Chainsaw Man.
I'm
dude.
offended you guys even said that.
Hey,
And I might make a noise.
I'm the current champion. I got 10 mil. I retired Khabib because of how good I am at Beyblades.
All right. Let's move on to the next introduction.
Yeah.
So,
I'm over it.
so part of the losing bracket of this whole team,
He was-
the league. I mean,
He wasn't, though. He won. He won the first round.
who?
Yeah,
Yeah, but Alan lost overall. Everyone, it's Alan Mendoza.
God damn it. I made a second round exit to someone who showed up 2 hours late to the tournament, so that was fucking great.
Yeah, fuck you, Ivan.
And open their Beyblade on the spot. All right, and the tournament favorite to win, but again,
First round exit.
first round exit lost to me on my story arc to the top. It is Mario, everyone.
You know what? In a lot of these manga and anime, the hero doesn't even win the first championship.
Yeah, but I did.
So I'm going to win this next one for everyone here because I know no one wants Omar to have this fucking belt.
Hey, it looks good around me.
You know what? I'm not mad I lost. I'm just mad Omar has it.
I think that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Everybody that was there is just upset that Omar brought it back home.
The thing is, because I have it all, and that's why people don't want to see me at the top. Also losing, but got to sleep with the champion. It's Jam Gito, everyone.
How was
Yeah.
the BBC?
Dude, we went home and we cuddled and fell asleep.
Yeah.
We were tired as fuck by the time we got home.
And all right, and Mario, do you want to introduce who you have as a guest for
No, you
this
got it.
our spooky episode?
You got it.
It's Carlos, everyone.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to be here.
I'm sorry, I don't know enough about you to do a full introduction, but all I was told is that you have a spooky ass story for us.
It's pretty spooky.
Oh,
and we
wait.
asked him about it and he literally didn't want to speak it into existence. There's a big ass spider up there.
We'll kill it later. It adds to the ambiance of this spooky episode.
I've talked about Carlos before with his niece, which
Oh yeah, that's well. She's in the story.
she's in this current story as
not
well.
not physically, but she's in the story.
Wait, what the fuck? Okay, I don't like this already.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to it. If you guys want to hear that story, you guys got to stick to the end because we're closing on that. But Mario literally said he didn't want to speak the story into existence, so he brought someone else to do it for him.
I thought it was over. I guess
No,
we're returning.
I don't fuck with witchcraft and demons, dude. So
Oh, fuck that. Actually,
I don't talk
no, that
about
shit's
it.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but do you fucks with it?
Unless it's a succubus, I'm not fucking with it.
A succulent? Like the plant?
Eric's name yesterday during the Beyblade tournament was El Duende, so
I love doing this.
Eric fucks with the spooky shit,
That's
but he couldn't be here today. All right, well, so let's.
Wait, where is Eric?
Eric's working and couldn't make it.
Oh,
I know.
Ooh, fuck that unemployed or that employment shit. Am I right, boys?
especially in a pandemic.
Yeah, who the fuck has a job other than? I wish I didn't though. I have a job and perfect vision, and I'm the BBC champion.
Dude, I fucking hate
Fuck
him.
this guy, dude.
I've said it before, but Omar is my soulmate, but also my mortal enemy. And I think that's why we've lasted 8 years together.
Well, there might be a new mortal enemy for all of us because I have an update to a story that we've talked about in the past. Carlos, you said you've listened to a few episodes, but have you heard that one episode where we talk about the fact that there is a Mothman in the area?
I have not.
Damn, that was my
literally
story.
just stole Alan's
That's all
story.
good.
Is it the update to the story?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Then I don't want to do it because I have a different story. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I literally just wanted to do an update before we jumped into it, but if you got the whole
That's
background,
great.
let's fucking
So should
do
we,
it.
we cut this?
No, it's
Start
fine.
like, oh, okay.
A little background. Mothman started in Virginia, but since 2017, there's been a shit ton of sightings in the O'Hare area. Are you guys familiar with the Mothman?
I am, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm not. Oh, yeah, that's his girlfriend in the background.
I think we should point out that for those unaware, the Mothman is like, what was it? Like a sign?
The
that something
Harbinger of Death.
Yeah.
What's
Damn, that should have been my fighter.
I wasn't going to write that whole thing down if that was
So
there.
I'm sure
How the fuck you even spell that?
I'm sure. I
don't know. I went to Waukegan.
As I'm sure all the fans have read John Keel's book, the Mothman is a harbinger of death, and he started appearing in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Couple months, I want to say it's like 9 or 13 months, right before the bridge in that small little town in West Virginia collapsed and killed 31 vehicles, fell into the river, and 46 were killed and 9 were injured. So they would say that he was sort of a sign, if you will. So the fact that he is repeatedly getting sighted in O'Hare, I believe, is not a good sign.
No, it's not.
So,
there's also allegedly a picture of him in New York on
wearing
September
Timbs?
in 2001.
Motherfucker sounds like Tekashi, if I'm being honest. It's everywhere.
Harbinger of Death.
Yeah,
Tekashi
so-
6'9".
So this is from iHorror.com. Mothman spotted at Chicago O'Hare Airport by USPS airport worker.
The most trustworthy section of the U.S. government, the USPS.
To be completely fucking honest, yeah.
Also, I don't know where my Lucy 2 shirt is. It is still in the mail.
I will say that I no longer fucks with the post office. I was all about saving them and all that. Like I want to go buy some stamps and everything. But I went to go return a package that I bought something for my car that was the wrong thing, and I sent it back. And the lady at the counter was very rude to me. So
It's because they're dealing
I
with
hope she fucking
Mothman.
loses her job. So, anyways.
They got other things like Mothman to worry about.
So this is from iHorror.com. The Singular Forden Society, a paranormal news publication which bridges the gap between skepticism and belief, reports that a 15-year United States Postal Service veteran encountered a tall, red-eyed, winged creature at work at Chicago O'Hare's International Airport last month.
Isn't it scary to think that you can work somewhere for 15 years?
They probably have like a 401k,
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
stability,
They like it.
insurance.
The worker contacted Manuel Navarrete of UFO Clearinghouse to tell her story. In a nutshell, the witness says that she was walking to her car late in the evening after a long shift and saw a large man in an oversized coat staring back at her from the shadows.
Oh,
It was a flasher.
Not only was it not a man, but that wasn't a coat. So let's hear it. Quote, I had just left work at the USPS sorting facility at O'Hare Airport at about 11 p.m. on a Thursday, the 24th of September. And as I was walking out to my car, when I saw something standing at the far end of the parking lot, where I usually park, at first I thought it was just a very tall person with a long coat. As I got closer to my car, I unlocked it, which caused the headlights to come on. My headlights hit the person standing about 20 to 25 feet from my car, causing it to turn and look right at me.
No.
I saw that this was not the same person, but some red-eyed creature. In what appeared to be a coat were actually wings that spread out as it turned to look at me.
That's fucking.
It just gets scarier and scarier. Because even if there was just a man there, that'd be fucking creepy.
Yeah.
So,
Especially if he's big.
And in a trench coat.
at first I thought it was a very, very large bird, but then I've never seen a bird that stood almost 7 feet tall. And I'm about 5'4", short ass.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Short ass.
Men get very defensive when it comes to their height.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm a woman standing at 5'1", so show me some respect.
But women are beautiful when they're short, so let's take that back a little bit.
I'll
so-
take it.
Wait, but this was a woman, though.
This is a woman, yes.
Yeah, 5'4".
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Damn,
let me
got your
retract that.
own ass, dude.
I'm
So-
about to cry, dude. Fuck this podcast.
This thing looked taller than me by at least 2 feet. This thing then started making some type of chirping sound, almost a half chirp and half click, like someone was clicking their tongue, but much faster.
Ooh, like this?
Oh, no. Are you Mothman's
I'm
daughter?
fucking Mothman, dude.
I cannot believe I just saw you make that noise.
New rap named Lil Moth.
Little monkey.
All right, so then it made some type of screeching sound, and it took off running towards me. It got within 10 feet of me and then took off into the air and flew right above.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Even seeing regular big birds take off, kind of creepy.
Seeing a bug is scary.
What the fuck?
Let alone a bug that's, what,
Half
7
man.
feet tall?
Yeah.
I started screaming hysterically as I crouched down behind the car's open door and dove into my car head first. I was in a near panic as I tried to start the car, close and lock the doors, and turn on the interior lights. I started my car and took off out of the parking lot and flew down the road until I hit the main road. I got home and told my husband, who also works at the same facility, and he was the one who told me about the sightings of this thing. I was scared shitless and hoped that I never see this thing again.
How do you go to sleep after seeing that?
Nah.
You don't.
You never do.
Yeah, you got to stay awake.
The only other sleep that's an option is death.
This thing is roaming around the area, scaring people half to death, and I hope the airport people decide to do something about it.
I hope I see him at Belvedere Mall.
Hey, eventually
Getting
everything
elote.
goes on there.
Dude, hell yeah.
Belvedere Mall has the best elotes.
Period.
So that was the end of. Well, there's a longer version of her story, but that was the end of that quote. So although it's hard to tell what the USPS workers saw that night, it sure as hell sounds like a Mothman. For those of you who are not familiar with the Mothman legend, it began in the late 60s in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, nearly 500 miles from Chicago. Multiple witnesses say that something large and human-like was flying through the city, and one described it as a large bird with red eyes, and another said it looked like a large flying man with 10-foot wings.
10-foot wings and 7 feet tall. That's fucking
It
terrifying.
just reminded me, what was it, maybe like a month ago? We took Spark out at night to go pee. And my yard's pretty long, and it gets really dark towards the end. So we go out, and he starts, like, pulling on the leash and starts barking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, there's nothing over there. And she's like, no, there's something over there. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, there's something black standing right there.
What?
And I'm like, what? I was like, I don't see. She's like, yeah, it's standing right there. She's like, it's something black standing right there. And I was like, well, I don't see it. And then he, like, calmed down, maybe, like, 2 minutes after. She's like, yeah, it's gone. I didn't see it. But she's like, there was something black standing
Hold
right
up, you
there.
live in Waukegan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
What the fuck? Did you see a Mothman without even knowing it?
Maybe.
I think that's what it was.
I don't know.
Now you got them fucked up, dude.
Maybe he is coming to Belvedere Mall.
He's getting closer. Do you want to take the mic and tell us what you saw?
It was just like a black shadow. I didn't see anything else really.
Just the black shadow.
That's ominous
in the
enough
yeah.
to be anything, though. I'm scared.
Yeah, Spark doesn't really pull unless it's like a squirrel. And he doesn't really ever pull at night, which is weird.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky too. I was saying since 2017 was like the first sighting, and there's been over 10 sightings since that time, but they've all been in the O'Hare area, and they all describe the exact same thing. So it's been spotted in O'Hare, Carroll Stream, and
There was one real close.
yeah, what the fuck was the other one?
It wasn't Rosemont, was it?
It might have been
I think it
Rosemont.
might have
I
been
think it
Rosemont.
might have actually been Rosemont. Yeah, where the furry convention takes place.
That makes sense.
But I remember saying that it was getting closer, like as we were discussing it.
Yeah, we the last time we did an update on this was sometime mid last year before Halloween. So the sightings are still happening.
No, I don't even think it was for Halloween. It
No, it
ended
was
up
before Halloween.
It ended up being a spooky episode because we were just talking about scary movies.
Yeah,
And we just talked about things we were afraid of.
check out the episode called "Chicago Mothman and the $120,000 Banana."
There we go.
It is getting closer. There is film crew who's doing like some sort of documentary on it right now. So look for that in the future. It's the same people who are doing the Mothman Legacy. Check that out.
Because you know I love me some Mothman.
I love Mothman too.
All right, so
I love men.
The sexiest of the cryptids.
just over a year after the initial sighting of the creature in December of 1967, the local Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people during an evening rush. And since then, the Mothman has become a cryptozoological.
Cryptozoological.
Yes.
Okay,
Look at this
Mr.
fucking
Degree
guy.
in art school.
Cryptozoological. Jeez.
Here, I'll just edit my saying it into your sentence. Don't worry about it.
Look, he became a legend, all right? And one that has inspired novels, documentaries, and even a blockbuster Hollywood film starring Richard Gere. So I don't know.
That one, I think, is called The Mothman Prophecy.
Yeah, based off the book. The USPS worker at O'Hare Airport was asked by Navarrete if the thing that she saw looked anything that is widely reported by the media and where it went after it took off. She replied by saying, I didn't care where it flew off. I wasn't going to stick around to find out. So
She's not a scientist.
just like that UFO abduction movie that we saw, the researchers just immediately get in the face of of a witness and just start traumatizing them, asking them all
As
these
they should.
questions. Yeah. So there's been a new resurgence of new Mothman sightings in the past few years in and around Lake Michigan. In fact, according to the Singular Fortean Society, there have been reports from every state bordering the Great Lake.
But I guess it's just made like the O'Hare area its new home or some shit. I don't know. Do you think there's more than one, or do you think? Well, I should.
Do you
I
think
guess
they
I
could
should.
spawn?
Mothman.
Maybe. Do you think it's a physical thing, or do you think it's a some sort of interdimensional
Yes.
thing? I feel like I'm way more prone to believe something is a physical being than I hate the fact that some people think Bigfoot is like an alien thing or interdimensional thing.
But where the fuck is it gonna hide?
Where it makes just more sense for it to just be a living thing somewhere, you know? So, what do you guys think about Mothman?
Interdimensional.
You think it's interdimensional?
Absolutely, yeah. There have been, although there's no proof. I don't know the guys who study science.
Okay.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, you know how I was telling you yesterday that sometimes I'll just listen to physicists like do lectures just to have like background noise, like at the house. One of them is we're talking about how through theory they've been able to prove, which isn't. I don't know how that works. Because if you don't have proof, I don't think you.
If
proved
it's just a theory, how is it proof?
just
That's gravity.
That shit's fake too. Don't get me started on that. And the Earth's flat.
Essentially, they use an example as if you were to look at a telephone pole from down the street, you would see the telephone line, right? But what you wouldn't see if there was an ant on that line circling that power line, there's parts of that physical thing that you're seeing that you can't see. So they're saying that the closer you get into a certain line of reality, there's loops within that. So that's how they would explain interdimensional. But then we get into the whole interdimensional travel, and then how they control that, and are they really here, or is it just a projection from what it's so it's an easy explanation as far as Bigfoot and Mothman being interdimensional. For me, yeah, it would make more sense if they were a living being.
I think it's just easier for my brain to explain to itself.
But then why West Virginia, and then why literally at the same time, as this bridge collapsing, and then why is it being sighted so close to one of the busiest airports in America?
That's the thing that throws me off too, because also at O'Hare, it was within the past decade, there was a UFO that was spotted in O'Hare.
Have you seen that picture?
Yeah, it got scrubbed from like a bunch of media too, but it was there for like 40 minutes or some shit, like
hovering over a terminal.
Yeah, exactly. So there's some weird shit that has happened in O'Hare, which, I mean, I guess if it's an alien thing and aliens are aware of O'Hare,
I feel
they could have dropped off of Mothman if that's what it is.
I feel like the O'Hare airport is so like just normal.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to me that it'd be in like that Denver one with that like giant horse statue and like
the underground base.
That's what I don't understand.
And those weird paintings and the gargoyles at like terminals.
Right. I don't understand why O'Hare. But like I said, there's been multiple sightings. Everyone said the exact same thing. This lady didn't even know that there was a thing happening there and saw that same kind of thing. There's something going on there, but why there and what the fuck is it?
That was the end of my story.
Are you prone to believing them, or are you like, there's a big bird out there or some shit?
I think it'd be cool if aliens are here to see our cryptid creatures.
That'd be hard, dude.
Yeah.
They can find them way easier than we can.
Yeah. Like they're looking for them too.
Or what if our cryptids are like part of an alien prank TV show just to watch humans react, dude?
That would be fucking funny.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I would respect the shit out of that. I believe in cryptids more than I believe in like, I don't know. Okay, well, not to discredit your story or anything, but just because I haven't had like many paranormal experiences to be like, yes, ghosts are real. I want to believe that they're real, but I just haven't experienced it enough for me to be like, yes. But I'm very easily, I'll buy into like, there's cryptids. I just don't know how much I buy into them in populated areas.
Like I said, where the fuck is he gonna hide?
Exactly.
We're flat land here.
Well, that's why the
interdimensional
thing makes sense.
What if he can fly really fast? If his wingspan's like big enough, he can fly high and fast.
But wouldn't the takeoff take too long because of that? Because he is like, what, 6-7 feet tall?
7 feet tall, 10-foot wingspan.
Well, what did she say? That she was like, it was 25 feet away, and it got like 10 feet closer, and then it took off?
Well, it had a running start. It was like running.
Yeah.
That's LeBron going for a dunk.
Hell yeah.
But see, it sounds like a physical creature. And the noise that it makes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, what,
because
this noise?
animals that are known make weirder sounds than that. It sounds biological to me. Let's go find this thing. It's getting closer to us.
With that noise, you probably can.
That could be its mating call.
I would like to learn how to make that noise.
I could teach you.
All right. So I got another cryptid for us, and it's another one that's local to the area.
He just shows a picture of me.
She makes this strange clicking noise. I found out recently that this one is actually super close to us as well. Have you guys ever heard of the Beast of Bray Road?
Is this what the Netflix show is based off of?
Is there a Netflix show? I don't know.
No, that's Bry Manor. I think it's a
Manor.
Bly Manor.
Okay,
I
no,
think it's a haunted house.
it's not that
That's
one.
not it. No.
Have you guys ever heard of
No.
that creature before?
Never.
This is from Thought Catalog.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
What else they got on there?
what are the ads like?
I don't know, but this pill looks like it would help with very specific things. All right,
He doesn't
so
need any help, trust me.
BBC champ. So since the early days of the country, people have been reporting sightings of the Beast of Bray Road in and around Elkhorn, Wisconsin, which is around the Racine area. So that's only about a 40-minute drive from us.
That is literally where I applied.
Well,
Oh, fuck, dude.
I might be working at the Chase in Elkhorn. Like,
really?
That's not a joke.
wow.
It's either that because the branch manager. I applied for the Elkhorn and the Lake Geneva branch, but
Damn. Well,
This
actually, this
is
says
gonna-
it's in the Elkhorn, Lake Geneva, and Racine area.
oh, fuck that.
So you might, if you're getting out late at night, keep an eye out.
Well,
on
late at night,
specifically
boy,
this
banks
one.
close at 5.
But it gets dark. Really
It gets dark real quick.
That's true.
People have been seeing the beast even as far as Illinois, the spooky land of Illinois. The Beast of Bray Road is a Bigfoot-like cryptid. I don't like how they said this, though, because it has been described more as a dog man.
Dog man.
They said it's a Bigfoot-like cryptid. It stands on 2 legs and resembles a bear, or in some cases, a wolf. It is very large, intelligent, with brownish gray hair. So here is the little depiction of what the creature what people
Whoa.
see.
Let me see. Let me see.
That's spooky.
Yeah.
Dude from Castlevania.
Oh, yeah. Well, people have described it as like a werewolf type
That looks
creature.
like Sonic Unleashed, not gonna lie.
All right, well, don't go looking for it now because of that. Bray Road is a country road in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. That's where it first got seen, and that's where it got its name. So it is literally just a little crunchy road with like...
Crunchy Road.
It's a crunchy road.
All the leaves.
But there's like nothing around it. A local reporter named Linda Godfrey first covered the story in her book, The Beast of Bray Road, Tailing Wisconsin's Werewolf. She believes that the beast is real, but has never seen it firsthand. So she just has like a bunch of eyewitness accounts of the locals who have seen it. Many locals consider the Beast of Bray Road to be a werewolf. Some cryptozoologists. Shit! I was going to edit that out, but now cryptozoologists consider it only another series of Bigfoot sightings. I think that you could tell wolf-type creatures apart from
Ape-type creatures.
yeah. Eyewitness accounts date back to the formation of the state, but sightings of the Beast of Bray Road have occurred between 1989 and 1991. It is like a super, super old cryptid. Early settlers of Wisconsin would describe like a wolf-type creature there. And then the sightings started coming back in 1989. That's when it got its an actual name. The beast may go all the way back to the first settlers of Wisconsin, who described canine creatures who would attack and then vanish without a trace. There's a witness account. Says, I lived in the town of Franklin, Wisconsin. This was about 1997 to 1998. We just moved there to a brand new subdivision, and we were currently the only house that was built around that area. The rest of it was just empty lots of what used to be a farm. Our backyard had a running creek. On the other side of the creek, there was just like bush area and a single lane of road. And there was only just one street light so far since they were the first people to move there. It was a warm summer night and I was having sleepovers with my friends. We had all the lights off and were playing hide and seek in the dark. I went back into the sunroom and saw something crouched over in the bushes. It was just barely illuminated by the street light. I'm not sure how to describe its body posture, but you know when you're about to throw up and you're hunched over on your knees and palms?
Sure.
Similar to that is what he said.
Damn.
How old was this kid?
Well, it was 1997. They didn't say how old they were during that time, just that they lived in that
But it
area
was a
during that
sleepover.
time.
I mean, how many adults are having sleepovers? And how is this? How
I
does
wish
that kid
I, wish
know?
I
I
still
put him
had
at
my
13.
sleepover.
All right.
Let's
That's
yeah,
a good age.
let's do that. I wish my
to
friends
be
would still
throwing
sleep
up?
over. Dude, I don't know why he was throwing up.
Kids throw up all the time.
Oh, I get. I mean, okay.
No, no.
I just
So
assumed he was drinking.
He was describing the posture of the thing he saw.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty sure he's an adult now. And has done that plenty of times.
All right.
So he said that he can see its chest like going up and down. So it was like breathing really heavy. And they said that they have a 140-pound Akita. What the fuck is an Akita? that a dog?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what
just
the fucking
like
Akita
an-
is.
Pretty sure that
Can
is
you
a dog.
real quickly just spell that out for me?
Akita.
I think it looks like a husky.
Akita is a dog. It looks literally like a Shiba.
Really?
Large breed of dog orientating from the mountainous regions of northern Japan.
Okay, well, I guess it might be related to Shiba.
Look at this good boy.
Oh, that's cute.
It's like that.
So,
I would love to see a 6-foot version of this.
yeah, well, they said that they have a 140-pound Akita who stands 6 feet tall when it's on its hind legs.
What the fuck?
That's a giant dog.
That's a mountain dog.
Imagine Mabel that was that big.
No.
Should be unstoppable.
So she can easily tell that the thing that he saw would have dwarfed his dog. So his dog that's gigantic was smaller than this thing.
His dog would have become a duende.
Next to it, yeah.
Damn.
I also know that it wasn't any type of dog or wolf. Its hind legs were thick and muscular, like a man's, but its body tapered off at the abdomen and had the head of a canine or like a wolf. Called out to my friend who came in and just said, "What the fuck is that?" Trying not to make noise. We sat there as we saw it hunched over for 30 minutes. My dad, who was a Vietnam vet, then came out to see what the hell we were doing up so late, and then we asked him, "What is that?" And he said, "I don't know." He went outside, they stayed in, and they were scared for his dad. He had some sort of like mega light that he was trying to point at it, and it just stood in the driveway, and he was shining it towards it, and then eventually it just like ran off. They heard like a splash in the creek, and then after that the dad came back inside and they never found out what it was. It follows the same kind of characteristics as the thing that people were seeing in that area, even from like the first settlers of Wisconsin. There's a few other stories. It's been featured on different shows. Like I said, Bray Road is just this one single country road, and people have been trying to go cryptid hunting there, and the police, I saw on roadtrippers.com, police will stop you if they see you there and ask what you're doing, and they don't like if you're cryptid hunting. So they're hiding something.
I swear these cops have
one of their
nothing
own.
better to fucking do.
Nope. But yeah, that's what's going on if you end up working there.
That sounds good. We should go.
Dog man, you
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, it is a dog man, but some people for some reason think it's like a Bigfoot. I don't know if it's the same
Do you
thing.
think it's the same one from like first sighting?
Well, I know we went to the museum in Chicago like 2 years ago, and in this area there was like 7-foot wolves that used to be here before people like hunted them to extinction. So I wouldn't be surprised if like there's like a small population still around, because for a fact they were in this area. And if the first settlers of Wisconsin saw giant dog type creatures, I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
So maybe there's just few around.
They're all just good boys.
Especially if it was hunched over like that, it might have literally just been one of those giant wolves.
We love to see it.
So Mothman, we have a Mothman in the area 40 minutes south, and a dog type cryptid 40 minutes north.
We need something here.
Let's fucking create one.
I'm sure Abbott Labs have something cooking up.
Yeah, probably.
I'm about to break in, boys.
Spooky.
Nice one. There is a cryptid that I don't know the name of it, but it was the one Japanese. It's not anywhere local, but it was the one where it would catch you like off guard and then spread its butt cheeks at you.
The Kappa?
Is that what that is?
The Kappa is it's a yokai, and it's like a turtle type thing. It wants to take your soul through your butthole, so to defend yourself you have to fart at it.
Well, because
set.
It also snatches children out of rivers.
Yes.
Let's not
because
forget that.
don't turtles like breathe out of their butt when they're underwater?
Do they?
Yeah, they can breathe through their butt.
Well, I'm jealous of turtles now. I can't swim, so I'm also still just jealous of turtles.
I gotta teach you how to swim, Omar.
I think it's too late.
No,
I'm
no, no,
25
no.
years old.
He already has perfect vision, a good job,
He's got both his parents.
both his parents, a BBC, both of them. He doesn't need to learn how to swim. That's the one thing I have over him.
Swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I've never tried to swim, so if I try to, I can probably do it really good.
I'm upset.
I'm just kidding. I can't swim. I know that for a fact.
I can't swim.
He's too big to swim.
That's not true.
Facts.
But might fart though.
Well-
I'm holding it in.
Defend yourself from the
Do
Kappa.
you want to go to the laundry room and toot?
Just talk loud. When I go like this, talk louder so I'll fart and no one hears it.
There's also Febreze spray right over there too, if you
Fart into the Febreze.
Just blast
Off
it.
a breeze, then fart into it.
So I love a good ghost story. I want to hear it.
Maybe a month ago, went to bed, opposite side of the bed for the first time. So I think that had something to do with it, subconsciously.
Well, how do you usually orientate your bed?
Well, it's up against the wall, so I sleep up against the wall with my back facing her most
Okay.
days.
Nice.
But
I'm
yeah.
not into that cuddle shit either.
No,
That's not true.
I cuddle with the wall. It's nice and cold like my heart.
If I had it my way, the bed would not be up against the wall.
I mean, that's the best way to have a bed.
No.
It really is.
It's not.
Because if you're drunk, you just go up against the wall, you won't fall off. You know?
You save so much room.
We don't get drunk, though. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so go to bed. I had a nightmare. Oh, let me give you some backstory. So I have this niece. She's 11.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since she's been like 6, she's been able to like see creepy things.
Mm-hmm.
She has the gift.
Yeah, she has the gift. No, she for real has the gift.
I think kids are naturally more open to seeing like ghost type things.
Mm-hmm.
So is it that normal thing, or it's like more than that?
Be a little more than that.
More than that?
Yeah.
Oh,
At my dad's
okay.
house, she lived upstairs. She would always see a little girl come out of one of those doors.
Dude, that's fucking creepy.
Those little tiny doors, you know?
Yeah, like in an attic
Like
or
a
crawl
crawl
space or
space
something.
Yeah.
thing?
She had seen a little girl come out of that once.
That's freaky.
That's not just something. If I was a kid and I saw that shit, I would bury that shit down. I will not burden anyone else with that knowledge.
I would never open that door.
No.
Yeah.
So she's been able to see stuff. In my dream, I'm in this house. I don't recognize the house. And my niece is on her knees between like a fridge and a stove. And she's like sobbing. So I approach her. And I can see that she's like in front of this little like altar little thing. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, because she's just bawling. She tells me, she goes, the lady in the red and black dress is going to chop my head off.
What?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, let's go tell your mom, right?
Uh-huh.
So we run upstairs. There's like this dining area, and then there's these glass double doors that lead into a living room.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we get to the double doors, she goes through, and they close on me. Like, they slam in my face. So I get this like fear over me, and I start pounding on the glass, like, let me in. Because I'm thinking whatever closes those doors is right next to me.
Yeah.
So I'm pounding on the doors, let me in. And the doors open, and I walk in, and there's this couch, and my sister's sitting on the couch. And right next to it is this figure of this woman.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make out the face. All I see is like her expression, and she's just like very angry at me and very like disgusted with me. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck? And I wake up, and that was it. So
that was the dream.
Yeah, so I wake her up. I'm like, can you hold me? Because I'm scared. You know, a big baby.
Yeah.
And like we stayed up for like an hour maybe.
Did you make anything of the dream, or you're just like, this is just a weird, spooky dream?
I think it was just more the lady in that dream. I was trying to...
That freaked you out?
Yeah, I was like, who was that, you know? Like, that feeling, that stare she gave me was just so intense. That's the most creepy part to me, you know?
Do you normally dream? Because I was telling them that I never dream.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Ooh, so
Yeah, weirder.
it was extra like...
Yeah, and it was super vivid. So she gets up to get water or whatever. The next morning, she's asking me about the lady in the dream, and she's like, oh, well... do you remember what she looked like? And I don't, you know, I didn't see her face. And she tells me, well, you know, I didn't want to freak you out, but when I went up to get water, I was coming back to the room, and I looked over to the living room, and there was something standing by the door.
No,
What?
dude, you said that. I literally got a weird shiver down my spine.
And
My
then-
hands are
Fucking
clean.
freaky.
And I'm like,
Why are you just seeing shadows?
and me being logical, I'm like, well, are you sure it wasn't like the shadow of like the TV or anything else like that?
Yeah.
She's like, no. She's like, I could see the figure of a person standing by the door. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'm not going to pay attention to it, you know? That same day, one of her family members calls her, and she's just calling up to check up on her and see how she's doing, you know? Mm-hmm. Right before they hang up, she's like, oh, hey, let me ask you something. She's like, so who's this lady in the red and black dress?
Wait, hold on. Who said this?
One of her family members.
Okay.
She's like, who's this lady in the red and black dress? She's like, because I had this dream. Yeah.
What?
Is there any dark history in the family that you know of? Because it seems like this is centered around your family, right?
But you said that it was your niece that was in the dream,
Right.
but you're the one who kind of saw something in the living room. It's extending from both sides because it was your family who said something. Huh. That's weird.
So her family pretty much said whatever this thing is trying to get everybody away from him being me because whatever reason.
Wait, what the fuck is that all about?
Does she want you for herself type of thing?
Maybe.
Or
Possibly.
she senses something evil in you?
Maybe.
Oh no, we got a demon in the house.
I've never had personal experiences with any ghosts or anything. I've never seen anything. I have dreams like that from time to time. But yeah, just her family saying something about the lady in the red and black dress. How could you know that, you know?
Yeah, no, that's super weird, especially if you have the dream. Did you talk to them more and figure out like why? If I have a dream and someone else is in it, I don't think I'd be like, hey, what's up with this that I saw in my dream? So is it a thing that's like happening often where they're seeing it enough to be like, I should mention it?
I don't think so. It was literally me having that dream, and then the next day was them telling her.
That's interesting.
So it was in the same day, I guess.
That's super weird. But you said your niece has seen other stuff around, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you have some stories with with that?
From what I know, she's woken up to a man coming out of her closet and digging through her trash.
What?
And then going back in the closet.
No, is there a crawl space in the closet?
No, it's just a closet.
Sounds like witchery to me.
Yeah,
because witches tend to go for items belonging to a certain person to have control over them. So like maybe like
I kind of have a story about that.
What's your story?
I'll let him finish his.
Same knees. Falls asleep in the living room. Wakes up, man standing in the entrance to the kitchen. Falls asleep in the living room again. Her mom wakes her up. Hey, why are all the toys on the ground? Why is this Elmo over here? They weren't on the ground when I fell asleep. Oh, no. Nobody's been here.
Has this all been in the same house?
Yeah.
Has anyone else in that house seen anything?
My sister, she's been downstairs in the basement doing laundry.
Yeah.
She said she had her clothes folded on top of the shelf or whatever. They've come like flying towards her, like something pushed them off towards her.
That's so fucked.
Especially in a room with like no air circulation.
Yeah.
For that to just like...
This is going to give me chorro, dude.
I'm feeling it now.
My stomach is like bubbling. I was fine before this. I'm scared.
My sister has told me that there was a time when she was cleaning up at night and the kids were all sleeping. Everybody was sleeping upstairs and she heard laughing. So she,
assumed it was them.
Yeah. What are you guys doing up? So she goes to check on them. Everybody's dead asleep, but she heard the laughing. My brother used to live in that house in the basement. He used to tell my mom about how he would hear a lady's voice scream in his ear and tell him to kill himself.
What?
Yeah.
Is this an old house?
I'm guessing so.
How long have they been living in that house?
I want to say at least 5 years.
Oh, fuck.
If not longer.
But you don't know if it's an actually old house or not?
I have no idea.
Damn.
That thing with the screaming in the ear, I had that happen to me a few days after I had that dream.
Really?
And I told her about it. I was just laying down
in your space.
Yeah. it was almost like it wasn't like a yell. It was like a whoo, like that. I heard it in my ear, and I like woke up, and I told her about it. I was like, hey, I don't mean to freak you out, but I just heard this screaming in my ear. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah. I was scared to close my eyes again. I'm like, I'm gonna hear it again as soon as I close my eyes. Nothing happened after that.
Hands
but
are sweaty.
This story fucked me up.
Yeah. Those are the stories.
So it sounds like it has to do something with the house then, because the thing is, here in America, just from experience, they're only legally required to tell you if meth was made or distributed in the house. They don't tell you if someone died. I don't know, maybe there's some unfinished...
Like a time thing, right? At a certain time, like...
No, at any time if there was meth made or sold meth, like they're legally required to tell you that, which this I mean, I guess.
Alan knows this from experience because he sold a house.
Some states, I think it's like 10 years.
They can't tell you, right? Or
they have to tell you if something happened in like the last 10 or 5 years in that house.
I feel like you might just be able to put in the address and it'll do a little quick Google
There
search.
are a website called Who Died Here or something, but you have to pay to like gain access to this information. And you type in like your address, whatever, like as many details of the house as you can, and then it'll give you like a backlog of like every like cop report or incident report, anything that's ever happened in that house. They can give you that information, but I've looked it up of that one house that I used to live in. Yeah. But I think it was like $30 or $40 to get that information. And at the time I was in high school not having a job, so I'm like, man, I can't fucking ask my mom for like $40 to
see if someone died
to confirm all this shit that I'm seeing too.
But I mean, she found out anyway that someone died in that house.
I did find out a man died there.
In her room?
In your room?
In my room. Ooh. And the fucked up thing is that it was a 2-bedroom house. And I originally stayed in the smaller room, and then my sister had the bigger room. She's older than me. And then she kind of was just like dipping out of the house and staying over at her boyfriend's more, which I don't blame her if she had the cursed room, because then she gave me that room. And that's when it like went up another level for me.
And I think that's one of the earlier Spooky Bucket episodes. So if you guys wanted to hear Jam's story, make sure to check out that episode. I think we did a full like 30-minute breakdown of everything she saw in that house, so I do recommend it. How old is your niece?
She's 11 now.
She's 11. So since she started seeing things, it's from being around that house then?
It dates back to my dad's house.
Oh shit.
So she was at my dad's house from like when she was born till like 6 or 7.
So there's something hovering around your family with.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Does everyone believe in that kind of stuff, or are other people like it has to be something else?
My mom believes in it. I believe in it to an extent. I believe it's there. I don't believe in it enough to give it energy to like.
That's what I was gonna say.
appear.
Like the more you buy into it, the more it has to feed off of.
And
that,
I
right?
think that's what my problem was that like as a kid, we would always like move around like every 2-3 years, if that. We lasted in houses, so we would always just be moving. And we stayed in one house for about like 6 years, and that's the longest I've ever lived in a house. And I just never experienced anything. But of course, as a kid, I'm like, hell yeah, ghosts are real. And it wasn't until like my favorite dog in the world ran away. Sorry, Mabel. And for some reason, I knew he was dead for whatever reason. And I would just hear like the nails of him running across the upstairs while I was in the basement. So I would always just like, I would feel him around. But I also didn't know if that was just me like being super sad about him. But anyways, so nothing about that happened until I moved to that last house I lived in Rockford, where I saw just a woman like hands wrap around the corner and like a head peek.
Oh my god.
And then just go away.
And she's shown me the layout of that house too, and there's no way that would have happened without her hearing something like a door open or close or something like that.
So where did she go back into? What was that?
So
It's like a closet.
I
type
wasn't.
area.
No, I was in the living room. The living room was in the back of the house. The kitchen was a hallway, basically, and that hallway kitchen connected to the front of the house where the dining room was. So it was a really weirdly shaped house. In that like kitchen hallway type thing, there was a door that led to the basement, and then in the living room was another door that led to the basement. So you couldn't open both doors at the same time because they'd hit each other. So it was just that corner where there was 2 doors, and I was the only one home. I was literally watching a regular show. And I just see, it's always like in my peripherals. So I just saw like hands wrapped, like a head peek through, but I didn't make out like a face. It probably stopped at like the forehead. I just saw it go away.
But
And
it is Rockford, so there's a chance it was just a person.
yeah, there was a chance someone maybe just broke in,
It saw someone was home.
but I would have heard something,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But, and then shit hit the fan a lot moving here.
Yeah. I think once you open yourself up to it more, the more...
But the thing
You kinda
is that
let
like, I'm always conflicted because if I believe in this, does that also mean that I have to like believe in like a higher power and like good and evil and that kind of stuff? So I'm always like, I don't know, man, but I'd be getting scared for real.
Was that the story that you were going to bring up earlier?
No, it kind of has to do with like witchcraft and wizardry, if you will.
Have you guys ever seen Harry Potter?
Yeah, y'all ever seen Harry Potter? My sister had a friend, and I relatively knew him. He was having trouble with some girl, like an ex that was like bizarro, like bonkers crazy, and he used to like do mods on his car, and so he had like
Respect the build.
Yeah, so he had like a lowered, what is it called? Like the front bumper was lowered.
Body
You had
kit.
a splitter?
The front of the car was closer to the ground than it should have been.
That's a suspension issue.
No, but like
he's got car
the
problems.
actual like plastic like bumper part, like it was just like
It's
low.
a splitter.
Yeah, sure.
I just put gas in my car.
And he
That's
was
all.
just having like a lot of like series of very unfortunate events in his life, like pet dying, he got robbed, like just a bunch of shit, you know? And then it wasn't until he was doing something to his car where he saw like in a little like plastic like fold over compartment in his car, there was a red string doll tucked in there that
What?
had his hair.
Was this the chick?
Ooh, I just got chills.
Was this the chick that put it in there?
Well, that's what they're thinking, that it was like this crazy psychotic ex-girlfriend who was trying to like do some
Some brujeria?
on
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Because then he found it and he like, I think he like talked to his grandma or something about how to like dispose of it. But I never know what came about it.
What, Alan? What do? You're putting some new peakers on your car. I know what that word is. And then in your backseat, you see a voodoo doll of yourself.
I'd probably be able to tell you exactly who put it there. But,
Why? You just know who would do that kind of thing.
I just know who would do that. But to be
Actually,
fair,
I think I know who you're talking
to
about.
be fair,
think I do too.
probably came off as a joke, but I tried to dabble in voodoo for a little bit. I mean, you guys saw the wisdom tooth that I had. I had a couple locks of hair. I had a little sample of blood, but I just kind of never went through with it. Just because, just the
But you
loss-
had all the ingredients.
just the
of it.
loss.
That's that V
It's,
shit.
it's just a loss of interest, honestly.
He's like, I was gonna do voodoo. I got bored.
Yeah,
I got all the stuff though.
but
It took too long to wait for a full moon.
No, I mean that's pretty scary, especially
Yeah.
if it's like tucked within the car. That's a very
somewhere where like he wouldn't have been able to
and the
find
thing
it
is,
otherwise.
if he's in the cars, it has a significant like emotional attachment to him. 'Cause
Yeah.
I love my car more than most people. I mean, I get it,
But did anything happen to his car?
I don't know.
Ever? Or
I'm
was that
sure-
just the place that she stored it because she couldn't get in the house?
I guess maybe. I don't know too many details of the story. I just know the gist of it.
I don't know if it's the proper way, but my first instinct would be to burn it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
But
The doll or the car?
the doll.
I'm burning both.
Because if I remember correctly, my sister told me that it was basically like, do you remember those like little keychain voodoo dolls that they would sell at Hot Topic?
Mm-hmm.
It was similar to that, where it was just like wound up red string,
Oh, okay.
and then interwoven with like some of his hair or something.
Yeah, you got to put it
Something.
inside.
What
It was just this freaky little thing that he found that he almost didn't think too much of it, but at the same time he's like, well, this makes no sense for this to be in my car or a part of my car.
Yeah, especially tucked somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Car manufacturers, when you guys buy like cool parts, don't come with little prizes
trinkets,
like
little
boxes
Easter
of
eggs.
cereal.
They sometimes put candy in the boxes, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's,
but no,
that
they
is
don't.
nice.
they
So does
don't.
Sweetwater when you buy audio equipment and music equipment from
Oh,
them.
that's
Sometimes
nice.
yeah,
When you buy rements, they come with a piece of gum.
it's true, and I eat all of it all at once.
Yeah, because I don't like gum.
I don't like the gum either. I just like to be obnoxious. And I bought her a full box of them,
Mm-hmm.
so it was like 13 remints in them. So she would just open them, and I just had 13 pieces of gum in my
bubble
mouth.
gum. But I also do have it's just like a quick little interesting story of just Mexicans and their superstition. The first time I went
huevo?
besides that, well, the first time I went to Mexico, I got like deathly ill, but I think it had mostly to do with like, that food was out of my repertoire of like, because
It wasn't chicky-tendy.
it was just riddled with like vermin, that kind of stuff. So I went to like
Bees sat on it at some point.
I went to like a clinic down the street. I remember barely being able to walk. I was just so like, I was like in third grade and I was just like shaking and shivering the entire time. We got in there. The clinic was empty. I came back out with like a new prescription and they gave me like a vaccine, I think. And then all of a sudden in like the window and like some sort of like blind or curtain, the image of La Virgen de Guadalupe came up, and like that, news reporters, everybody started showing up.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But I was
You're
still like,
shaking.
I was still in a daze where I'm like, is this a sign that I'm meant to like keep going? Anyway,
You're like, am I the Virgin Mary?
is it me? Am I chosen?
That reminds me of this time when I was a little kid. I was also like really fucking sick. I don't remember getting up, and I don't remember if I just like imagined this like image in my head, but I saw my aunt, my grandma, and my mom just like hovering over this pot, and they were like, I was super sick, so I don't remember if they were like chanting or if they were just like talking amongst each other just around this little pot.
Is this how you got West Nile?
But not yet. That was way later. Yeah, so they make this thing for me and I drink it and I'm just like immediately healthy.
Weird.
And I was
dude.
just like extremely sick.
They went and
Yeah, they
To the
did that. That's what I saw in my head. Like, and it was like spooky.
It's just boiling Pepto-Bismol.
They were dumping their personal stashes in the pot. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
just give them everything we got.
So, Alan, when you were dabbling in voodoo, did you find anything interesting while you were doing that?
Not really.
No? It wasn't interesting enough to stick around?
Nah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
were these items cultivated for you to?
There wasn't going to be any like ill intention. I wasn't trying to like hurt the person. I was more of just kind of like, I felt that the connection to this person was pretty good, so it had a better chance of it yielding some sort of result. And again, it's not a joke. It's just I just lost interest, and I mean I still have the stuff in somewhere in my house. But
So if you're ever interested again, you can always just pick up
Yeah.
voodoo again as a hobby.
I think there was just a lot of weird stuff going on around the time, like right before I left my last place. And it's not that big of a story, but something really weird happened to me my first week, like at my parents' house when I moved back. I was in my room, and usually I would just sleep with the TV on. This time I kind of just really had nothing in there, just pile of clothes, some bags laying on the floor, so I was just laying in bed. And my feet were not completely sticking out, but they were hanging off the edge of the bed for a little bit. And I was
Which
just
is cursed on its own.
You're just asking for trouble.
I was asking for trouble, but I didn't think too much about it. And this wasn't like I was fully awake when this happened. There wasn't like any type of like sleepiness or like fuzziness, and I remember clearly being awake because I was just, you know, really circling in my head for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And
the best thing to do.
The thing is,
be stuck in your own head.
I will say that I might have been dehydrated, so that might have been what it was. Because I remember that night being very hot. Like, that's why I had my feet almost stick. Like, I tend to curl up in a ball when I sleep. So I was, like, laid out. And who knows, maybe I just didn't have enough water. But I remember just kind of being abruptly, like, taken out of my thoughts because something had, like, just bumped into my foot.
And this was before you got that cat?
This was before I got the cat, yeah.
Did you think of something, Mario?
Yep.
So
there's a lot of ghosts, especially in Hispanic stories about feet.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure. So like nothing. It wasn't like
The duendes.
nothing like grabbed it or like pushed
like
it. It legitimately was if like someone had like just brushed up against it as they were walking by. So like something kind of bumped into it, but it was only my my right.
But
foot.
it was just casually.
Casually, yeah. So it wasn't like a push or anything violent or like kind of soft. It was just like if you were to bump into someone in the hallway at school.
Yeah.
And I got up and I was like immediately like it felt like my stomach shot out through my throat. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was looking in my closet. It was
He
open.
gets his gun out. He's like, I'm ready.
And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then I did one of those things where I was scared because it couldn't have been anything else. Something literally bumped into my foot. And my bed's pretty high off the ground. It couldn't have been like, you know, I didn't have my cat at the time. It wouldn't have been that.
Nothing fell over.
It wasn't the blanket. Nothing fell over.
It was just his nest of clothes.
It couldn't have, I mean, we have mice in the house, but there's no way. Like, there's literally no way it could have brought, because my foot was hanging off of the bed. There wouldn't have been anything to like,
Unless
walk
the
around.
mouse was trying to like slam dunk on your
Yeah,
bed.
jump and
Possibly.
high-five.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like when teams do that for good luck, they'll just tap like.
But I would have
The door
heard.
frame?
I would have heard it fall on the floor.
Right.
Though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was one of those things because it's happened multiple times in my life. Not anything that I can remember, but when something like that would happen, where I would just literally freeze and I would stand there and look at a certain spot, specifically of where it happened, for like what seems like 30 or 40 minutes before I knocked myself out. You know, just from exhaustion. And, you know, that was the last weird thing that's happened to me. In that house, I think the last time something like that happened in my parents' house was when I was around, I want to say 13. My parents went out to a concert. So we kind of, I'm going to say they didn't, but they did for real. For, you know, any child protective services out there listening.
Hey, you guys are old. You guys made it past 18. You're good.
So we had a babysitter, but the babysitter like kind of left after a little while and was just, you know, it was a neighbor. So she left us after we had fell asleep, but she came back and kind of, you know, checked on us because my parents didn't get home until like a little later. The thing is, I was wide awake. You know, I was a kid. I had a problem when I was little of literally being awake in my bed for 3 or 4 hours before I fell asleep. And somebody turned on the light switch in the hallway, like upstairs in the room. I didn't hear the door.
The rooms are all very close to each other too, so you would hear.
It's like about I want to say like 8 foot little hallway that connects my current room, my parents' room, the room that me and my brother were staying in, and that at that time, and then the bathroom, and then a closet. So it's like the light went on in my closet, and I didn't hear anybody come in the house or walk up the stairs or anything like that. And then I heard a shadow, or no, I didn't hear it. I saw the shadow of a person, what looked like 2 feet, stand in front of my door and like knock real slow, like. And then I remember, you know, at the time, I'm glad I didn't say it out loud, but they say that when something like that happens, you're not supposed to
Address it, yeah.
Yeah, because that opens, you know, a spiritual door or whatever.
Yeah, it's like black-eyed children. If you see them, never invite them into your house.
Yeah. Same with vampires. Don't let them in.
And vampires.
So
unless
in my
they're
head,
Robert Pattinson.
I don't know if it actually happened or if this was kind of some weird sleep paralysis, but I remember in my head whispering, like in my thoughts, I'm like, who is that? I saw these little foot shadows, like on the little line of light on the bottom of my door, stand there for like maybe 20 seconds, and then the light just kind of switched off, and that was it.
Really? So you know, it wasn't Eric like checking in.
No, because I remember, like, I don't know if it actually happened because that whole night was so fuzzy, but I remember kind of after the light went off, I waited maybe 20 minutes and I tried to like whisper, like,
Oh, because you guys were in the same room?
yeah, he was knocked out, like, on the other end.
I thought you guys were sleeping in the same different rooms.
No, we were at this time we were in the same room, separate beds, but he knocked out like nothing.
That makes it even worse.
So
because there shouldn't have been anyone there.
Shouldn't have been. I mean, like, again, there was supposed to be a neighbor that was checking in on us, but it was just so weird that.
But you would have heard all the commotion.
I would
Not
have
just the lights
because your
turn
stairs
off.
are kind of loud if you like
and the
go
door
up
is
them.
loud as hell too.
Yeah,
and the thing is, like, if it was my neighbor, why knock like that and not
and not just come in?
not come in and check? So I thought that was kind of weird. But that's really the only thing that ever happened in my house.
That is weird.
I've seen chilling in your basement with Eric before. I always just see random things. And I think we were watching a fight, the three of us, me, Omar, and Eric, and we were just like casually talking, and then I felt like a weird like sensation going on like kind of behind me. I just see something like dark and gray moving, and then I'm like turn a little bit, and it's just like a gray mist on the ceiling. And it just like washed away.
Maybe it was the same thing that was knocking on your door.
But this is the same place we played Beyblades at?
Yeah.
What the
Right
fuck?
above it.
You guys had 2 more stories you thought of?
Well, I thought of something real quick.
Yeah.
The other night, I sleep with my fan on because I like white noise. Mm-hmm. So I'm like in and out of like deep sleep. And then I hear... So remember, I brought over my Beyblade thing, and you know how it comes in like 2 pieces?
Yeah.
I heard somebody like
Someone
grab
let it
it
rip.
and like shake it. So it was like, you know, like 2 plastics hitting each other, and it like woke me up. And then but I heard it specifically under my bed.
It wasn't Chase hanging out under there?
No, there's
letting it rip.
that's the thing. Like I don't think where I heard it, there's no space for the stadium to go under, and I put the stadium on my chair. Because I like grab it and move it and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
Maybe a week or 2 ago.
Maybe you were just rattled by the fact that you knew I was going
Yeah,
to
it
take
could have
the
been
championship
stress, like-
home.
Maybe it could have been stress, but like that freaked me out because like I know I heard it not necessarily under my bed, but like on the floor.
It couldn't have been your downstairs neighbor doing something? You didn't hear anything afterwards?
I don't think so.
It
No,
sounded too clear in
They
the
didn't
room
turn the
for it
blender
to-
on for a
it
fraction
was
of a
like
second?
way too clear, and just like in my head, I'm like, I know where I heard that. And so when I went to look like half asleep, and I didn't see anything. And at the time, I didn't even think about it because I was like so tired. But like thinking back on it now, I was like, I shouldn't have heard that, and I shouldn't have heard it there.
Yeah, that
if
is
somebody came in, if like my mom came to fuck with me and like shake the plastic, like I would have saw her because my room is like so packed. She had to like maneuver around,
ain't
grab
that
the
quick.
thing. Right, she's not that fast. But like I heard it. And then like immediately jumped up and just like because it freaked me out.
What-
Also, there's this other thing called Chainsaw Man, and it's really it's a really scary, freaky story, and you guys should read it.
I do want to read it. I did just buy a new Junji Ito, though.
And a
I'm-
new one.
And I'm currently into Dr. Stone, so I might be on that for a little bit.
Dr. Stone ugly as hell. I can't read it, bro.
Oh my god.
That art
I
is
fucking
so
love,
ugly.
dude. Senku's the best. Oh my god.
I'll kiss you in the mouth right now.
Did you have a story, Carlos?
Oh yeah, real quick. When I never told you this. When I
Ooh, exclusive. This is a Spit Bucket exclusive.
I love it.
when I first moved into my place, I remember one night I fell asleep, and I remember feeling like my bed got lifted up and then slammed right back down.
Oh, that's fucking
Like your mattress or the whole
Like
frame
the
too?
whole frame, and it's a heavy wooden frame.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And you were alone when that happened?
in my room. Yeah.
Were you-
So she was not there at all. But I remember thinking maybe it's just like when you fall asleep and you kind of fall in your
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
That I never dreamed. That happens to me at least once a week.
It wasn't that though.
can
I
confirm.
felt the whole bed like lift up and just slam back down.
But you were asleep when it happened?
Yeah.
And you just felt it pick up and fall?
Yeah, and it wasn't like a far drop, but it was
Just like a
enough.
Enough to shake the whole thing.
Yeah, because the floor shaked and everything. I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
really?
Yeah. 2 nights ago, we're watching something on YouTube, and she's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "What?"
I fucking hate when people say that shit to me. Did you hear that? I'm like, no, and I don't want to fucking hear it. So shut the fuck up. Don't bring it up.
She's like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "I just heard somebody say, hey."
Nah.
I was like, what do you mean? And she's like,
Don't acknowledge it.
she's like, yeah, like it was like a whisper. She was like, it was like, hey. And I was like, she's like, but it sounded like a child.
That's fucking weird.
And I tried recreating. I was like, you sure it wasn't me just breathing hard because I'm fat?
You're
She's like, I'm like, she's like, no, it wasn't you. She's like, I heard it right here, right next to me.
That's always fucking freaky, too, because it's always like right in your ear.
Yeah.
That's why don't tell me.
It's also the worst, back when I used to live with my mom, being home alone and then just hearing her call out my name.
I used to have that too, actually.
A lot. Like, it happened way too often where I would just hear, Yamile! And I'm like, what? She shouldn't be home. And then I go and I run downstairs and I look and no one's fucking home.
Yeah. I've had that too, actually. That's freaky.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like we were talking about, the more you acknowledge, the more you like feed into it. So for it to just like either be in your mom's voice or just like whisper in your ear, it kind of forces you to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So
And like I said, like as a kid, I used to watch that show A Haunting on Discovery Channel a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, hell yeah, I believe in ghosts. But I never had anything to be like solidify, until I moved to Waukegan. And at that point, I was already like 14, 15. So I felt like I was too old for me to be sought after for like, they want like that kid energy.
But it had a lot more to feed off of you with.
I was
happening.
also super depressed.
Yeah.
It was a very low time. So I think it fed off of my negative energy. It made it stronger.
And it's probably haunting someone right now because of it.
Yeah, probably, actually.
I think on that note, don't acknowledge ghosts, everyone.
Yeah, if you hear your mom call your name and you don't live with your mom anymore, don't do nothing.
Even if you live with her, tell her to leave you alone.
Fuck that bitch, dude.
I'm kidding.
Fuck moms, dude.
Nah.
Fuck dads.
Fuck dads, dude. That's our official stance. Fuck dads.
No, not all of us. I had a great childhood.
Yeah, mine was pretty cool too.
Y'all privileged as fuck.
For real.
All right, well, hopefully you guys have a good Halloween and stay safe out there. Just because it's Halloween doesn't mean the pandemic doesn't exist. So keep that in mind. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I would love to hear more personal ghost stories. So you guys can reach out on what's our Instagram? The Spit Bucket Pod? Mm-hmm. On
DM
Instagram.
Us, give us a spooky story.
Or
We could read them out loud too.
dude, that'd be great if you guys do that. Or on the Spit Bucket Facebook page. So make sure to like that as well. But for now, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _TigerDriver98. And listen to my album on Spotify.
Alan.
Oh, what? Sorry, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at AlanZF1. Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have a ZF1 anymore.
I don't know that anymore.
You can follow me on anything at Pucknat. Please, please, please read Chainsaw Man. I'm begging my friends to do it, and they won't do it.
Mario, the thing is, I know it's going to be a really good story. I just need to start.
I need
Senku?
somebody to talk to about it.
Senku is literally rebuilding civilization from nothing, just on science, bro.
This man pops chainsaws out of his fucking head and arms.
But he's in debt. I need
He's
to.
not
I
in
need.
debt anymore. He killed his debt overease.
Jan, where can people find
Who
you?
cheated?
Instagram and Twitter at really_cool.
Carlos, would you like people to find you on anything?
I don't have social media, but if you play Overwatch, at me at Cuz Lightyear 1874
Who do you mean?
Junkrat.
Garbage. I'm embarrassed.
I like the hamster. Is that the
Hamster's
hamster?
fun.
Yeah, hamsters.
Yeah.
I don't know
Do you
anything
want to
about a
plug
lot
your
of stuff.
Instagram or anything?
She don't need no guys looking at her profile.
Ooh, one of those.
Yikes.
We had a whole conversation
on
about
that
this
big
yesterday.
yikes. All right, we'll see you guys next week at the Spit Bucket.
If anything goes bump in the night, it's me, and I'm after your snacks.
Or your Mothman. Hide your Mothman because she's coming.
Lake, what is it? Loveland Frogman? I'm coming after you, dude. I want you. Okay.
I respect that.
Goodbye, my friends.
All right, see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.